Thank you, sir.
So there are different sewing threads are available based on the structure or the technology we use to produce the sewing threads. So they are called spun thread, core spun threads, twisted multifilament, draw textured, monocard, air entangled, air jet textured, and monofilament. And last one is the tape type. So coming to the spun thread, all of you must have studied how to make a spun yarn. So basically, the starting material is the staple fibers, and right from the blow room, you go through the carding, drafting, rowing, process of making the rowing, and finally ring spinning. And finally, you get the single yarn. So the fiber is converted into staple fiber yarn, that is called single yarn. Then you take 2 single yarns or 3 or 4 or 5 single yarns and you double it and you play it. Play it means now you joining together and applying a twist to get a particular text. For example, the yarn text is single yarn text is 20. If you take 2 yarns, each is 20 texts, then you twist together in the opposite directions, you get a thread that is called 2-ply thread. 2-ply thread means there are 2 single yarns. So the text of the yarn will be 40 texts because each single yarn is having 20 texts. So during playing, the twist is applied in the opposite direction to that present in the single yarn to avoid snarling. Anyone has idea about what is snarling? Can you see the thread I am holding it?
Yes, sir.
So this is I made a very special yarn, which as a part of consultancy from Honeywell. This is high density polyethylene. It's very difficult to make spun yarn. I am giving more twist, okay? As long as the yarn is under tension, can you see the yarn is under tension? In a straight line? Can you see the yarn?
Yes, sir.
Now the moment I make it now loose, what is happening? Two yarns joined together in the opposite direction, right? Can you see the yarn is twisted together?
Sir, can you show it again? I couldn't quite see it.
I'll show you. Holding the yarn is very difficult. I am keeping the yarn under tension. So the single yarn is under a straight line, right? Can you see?
Yes, sir.
Now the moment the tension is released, it is twisted together.
Yes, sir.
So this is called snarling, right? So when you give very high twist also, the yarn snarls because this is storing a lot of torsional energy. And when the yarn is having very high twist, even the sewing is not possible. So let us go back to the previous slides. Can you see this? The graph, the thread tension on the y-axis, and the time scale in the 360 degree, 0 degree. So the sewing thread undergoes different amount of tension, and there are some durations it is almost under zero tension. When it is under zero tension, what happens when the sewing thread is in the machine, sewing machines, and when they are under zero tension, suddenly they twist together. So when they twist together, what happens? The sewing is not possible because they twisted together, and it will not go through the needle. You see the needle, you must have seen the needle. I don't know where is it. Needle. So when the two threads, the join together, it will not pass to the needle. This is because the needle diameter is just adjusted to the a particular yarn thread. Now what happened? Two threads join together and they form a snell. And what happened? The thread cannot go inside. So the twist is very important. Okay. So it's not have very high twist, it's not have very low twist. Low twist means you have very low strength. High twist means the yarn thread snells and it will the needle eye is blocking the thread. So what are the twist you are given? It has to be many cases it has to be heat set. So that is a point. The twist is set by heating in the autoclave. Okay, the yarn which I showed it, it is it's unbalanced. Twist is little higher. If I pass it to the place it in an autoclave and heat it above the glass transition temperature, the twist can be set. And whatever the torsional stress are there, they will be relaxed. So the yarn or thread will not snell. So the spun threads are having very fussy appearance, because of the protruding loops and the hairs on the surface of the yarn. And that is also a plus point because it gives a soft feel and it provides bulk. And when the thread is passing through over the machine, many machine parts, they give very low friction because it's try to glide. And that is called the good lubricity. Okay, that means the low friction between the thread and the machine parts of the sewing machine. And it may give high friction between the threads and the fabric yarns, which is good. So we need to have low thread to metal friction while sewing, and after sewing we want high friction between the thread and the fabric yarns so that the seam is more secured. So spun threads are made from cotton, polyester, Nomex, Kevlar, polyester cotton blends, and polyester blends, viscose, wool, acrylics, depends on the end use applications. So here you can see a single yarn which is plied, and you see the surface is having very fuzzy appearance. This is the cross section of the thread, and you can see it's a 3-plied yarn. Okay, you can find there are 3 single yarns and they are twisted in the opposite direction. Suppose the single yarn is having S twist, the thread or the plied one is having the opposite direction. So this is a 3-ply thread. That means there are 3 single yarns. If the single yarn count is 20 tacks, the thread must be having approximately 60 tacks. And there is another category of thread which is called core spun thread. Core spun thread is like a bipartite structure. It has 2 components. The center or core of the thread, you find the continuous multi-filament yarn, and on the surface or the sheath of the thread, you find the staple fibers. So first you have to make the core spun yarn, single yarn, right? Then taking 2 or more core spun yarn, you play it in the opposite direction, you get the core spun thread. How to make the core spun yarn? So staple fibers, you pass the staple fibers in the form of roving in a ring spinning, and in the front roller, you can pass the continuous filament yarn by applying suitable tension. So from the front roller nib, the filament yarn is coming out, and the same time the drafted roving, which is also coming out of the front roller nib. So when the traveler is rotating, what happens? Twist imparted. And since you apply reasonably good tension, the filament yarn try to go to the center, and the staple fibers try to wrap over the filament yarns. And this, when you see the surface of the core spun yarn, it looks similar to the spun thread, because on the surface you have the staple fibers. It is not a continuous filament, and to that extent, it looks like a spun yarns. So in terms of feel and lubricity, they are similar to the spun yarns, but it has a plus point. They are more uniform in diameter than the spun threads, because in the spun threads everything is stable fibers. There is a drafting irregularity, and to that extent there may be non-uniformity. In this case, the almost 50% of the component is the multi-filament yarn. They are highly uniform. Only the staple fibers may be little not uniform. So overall, the core spun thread is much more uniform than the spun threads. And another thing is the most important aspect of the core spun thread is they are very strong. They are very strong because we use strong high tenacity multi filaments. We use always high tenacity polyester filaments, and they give the required strength and also durability to the thread. So because for a same text, the core spun thread has more tenacity than the spun thread. That means you can use a finer thread. Because suppose you want to have breaking strength of, let us say, 20 Newton. Okay, so 20 Newton strength can be, you can get from a 10-tex yarn, a 10-tex core spun threads. But to get that same, tenacity, you probably need, 12 tex spun yarn. Coming to the type of fibers materials they use in the core spun thread is mostly you find the commodity core spun thread is polyester. So polyester filament is used in the core, and on the surface you can use either cotton or polyester, right? If you use cotton has more thermal conductivity, and to that extent it may release the heat when the thread is rubbing over the needle. So while sewing, what happens, there is a lot of rubbing between the threads and the needle. If it is everything is polyester, what happens? The heat is generated is so high, and the temperature rise on the thread is very high. So when the temperature rise on the thread is very high, and it is goes very near to the melting point. So what happens? The polyester fiber melts. Melts means they form beads that is not desirable, and also they lose their strength. So this is a problem with the 100% core spun, polyester core spun, because the surface fiber is having polyester, and they may be melted if we go for high sewing speeds. So in those cases, people use, instead of polyester fiber, they use the cotton fibers on the surface. So cotton fibers does not melt, number one. Number two, cotton fiber is having more thermal conductivity than the polyester. The thermal conductivity of cotton fiber is at least twice, thrice than that of the polyester fiber. So for a given heat flux, the temperature rise on the cotton fiber will be less, because they conduct very quickly in the heat. And So when you want to go for a high protection sewing, you have to use the polyester cotton combinations. There are some cases, where you want more strength for the sewn product. Okay, the industrial fabrics should have very high strength. That means the sewing thread should have very high strength. In that case, you have to go for polyester combination. That means polyester core and polyester staple fiber on the surface. Apart from that, if you want to have, there are some cases you need high chemical resistance, and you need, high color fastness. For example, sun protection textiles. Okay, you use awnings. Okay, in front of the stores and other places. So you can't replace, the awnings for every year. So when you use the, cotton fibers on the surface of the core spun threads, the color fades out. So there are some application, color fastness is an issue, and the chemical resistance is an issue, strength is an issue. In all these cases, you have to go for polyester. That means polyester is the core, polyester staple fiber is on the sheet. So here you can see a 3-ply core spun thread. You can see, there are 3 single yarns. In each single yarns, you can find, can you see my cursor? Can you see the cursor?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The cursor I am showing now, that is a filament. This is the polyester filament. Surrounding this one, you have the either polyester fiber or cotton fiber. Similarly, there is another single core spun yarn. There is a polyester filament surrounded by a staple fiber. And similarly, this is a third component, a polyester filament in the center, and it is surrounded by the either polyester fibers or cotton fibers. There is another category of thread which is called the twisted multi-filament thread. It is very simple one. You get the multi-filament yarn. This is the multi-filament yarn, which is on the left side. It is not twisted. Then apply twist. Okay, you are given the S direction. S direction. S twisted. The single common yarn. Then 3 such multi-filament yarn, which is already twisted, is twisted in the opposite direction. So this is 0 twisted multi-filament yarn. Then this is a twisted multi-filament yarn. Then you take 2 or 3 or 4 multi-filament yarn, you twist in the opposite direction. Now this is called the twisted multi-filament thread. This is twisted multi-filament yarn, and this is 0 twisted multi-filament yarn. So from 0 twisted multi-filament yarn, you get the twisted multi-filament yarn, then you get the twisted multi-filament thread. So twisted multi-filament threads can be dyed, and it depends on the shade, color you want, and they are stretched and heat set to achieve the desired strength and extensibility. The moment you stretch it, what happens? There is a unrelaxed stress are there, and which is not desirable, and then always it is heat set. And they are one of the strongest and durable for a given size. So compared to the core spun yarn of a same size means same text. The multi-filament yarns are stronger because filaments are more aligned to the thread axis, and filaments are continuous, whereas in the case of spun yarn, fibers are discontinuous. So load from one fiber to another fiber has to be transferred by means of interfiber friction. So there may be slippage. Even when you go to the core spun yarn, the filament yarns are continuous, so they bear more load. But when it comes to the surface fibers, they are discontinuous. So to that extent, strength will be a little lower than the twisted multi-filament yarn, multi-filament threads. And they give very high, these multi-filament threads give very high friction during sewing. and because they are very smooth, and they generate sufficient heat in the needle, which may cause fusing in the extreme case, fusing or breaking up the threads, and in a less demanding case, it may be softened. So the twisted multifilaments are made from fibers such as polyester, nylon. In both cases, they are all high tenacity, not the apparel grade. Please remember, twisted multifilament threads, they are all made from high tenacity polyester and high tenacity nylon. Okay, not the normal polyester, normal nylon. And aramides such as Kevlar, Nomex, metaparamide, and there are coated E-glass and coated polytetrafluoroethylene, PTFE, polyether, ether, ketone. This is all high temperature, no? They can withstand high temperature. There are some applications you have to stitch the fabrics which are going for high temperature applications. There are some fabrics which needs very high cutting resistance and also reasonable amount of heat resistance. Then they use the Kevlar. For example, when you go to the train, bus, theaters, the furnishing fabric on the seat, they have to be made with these materials because people may put their knife and they try to damage. So it needs cutting resistance. That means the sewing threads also should have the cutting resistance. And the spectra we all use for bulletproof fabrics and very high strength also. In that cases, sewing thread also has to be high density polyethylene. Spectra is a trade name, okay? Spectra, Dyneema, they're all trade names produced by different manufacturers, but basically they are high modulus polyethylene. And polypropylene threads are available, acrylics, and metallized threads from nylon and polyester rayon. Is some case like jari threads, generally not used for industrial applications. So the base material is the nylon polyester rayon, and it is dipped over in a roller where the metal is deposited. Some cases vaporized metal is deposited on the nylon polyester rayon thread. So another case is the dot textured thread. I think most of you have done a course on texturing taught by Professor Kusal Sen. So the basic material is the multifilament yarn. Generally, the multifilament yarn is not high tenacity filament. They are all medium tenacity filaments. Okay, not the filament used for the twisted multifilament threads. So the thread is the single yarn is multifilament yarn, which is twisted. It's given a false twist. When it is given a false twist, it is given at a temperature of above the glass transition temperature. For example, if you are using, if you are making polyester draught textured yarn, and while twisting, you have to give a heat of 80 degree and above, because the glass transition temperature of polyester is 80 degree. So we normally do the texturing at 100, 110 like that, maximum 120 degree. So when the heat is supplied to the filaments, and at the same time they are twisted, and whatever the torsional stress impacted to the intermolecular bonds, they are relaxed. So when it is coming out, then we give the heat setting, which is very close to 180 degrees centigrade for the polyester, and it assumes a helical configuration. So that gives the bulkiness. Filaments are not straight, so they assume a helical configuration. So what I am showing is a single dot textured yarn. Then you take 2-3 such yarns and twist it, you will get the dot textured thread. So the basic material is the multifilament yarns and of medium tenacity. Okay, mostly polyester yarns, and in some cases they use the polypropylene. And they have good crimp rigidity, and they are very sharp because of the bulkiness. You see, they are very bulky. It is difficult to pack closer to each other because they are not in a straight line, and because of that they are very soft, and a lot of crimp is there. So when you apply load, what happens? The yarn extends. When the yarn extends means the dart texture thread also has more extensibility. So this may not be desirable in industrial applications. May be desirable for the apparel, knitted apparels, where you need high extensibility. Whereas in industrial fabrics, this kind of high extensibility is not needed. Okay. In fact, it is a detrimental to the fabrics. So the dart extrude threads generally are not used for industrial applications, and you find when you look at the inner garments, you are wearing knitted wear, your banyan, vest, your panties, underwear, swimwear, foundation wear, tight wear. And they all they are in very close contact with the skin. So the skin comfort is very important, and you need to have very soft, bulky threads. Okay. And when you see, in these seams, you find there is one stitch, there is another stitch in between. You find crisscrossing threads. They're all these dot texture threads. They have more area, and they are more soft, more bulky, and give good skin comfort. And another category of thread is the monocard thread. It is the basic material is the continuous filament yarns of high tenacity. Okay. So the basic material is high tenacity filaments with little twist, not zero twist, but almost close to zero twist. Maybe 5 twists per meter and like that. Okay. So very little twist. So they are bonded together by resins. Then they are lubricated. You can see there are 3 ply monocard yarn. You see at the bottom, I shown the photograph. We find there are 3 mono card. Okay, this is a 3 ply. So each is a single yarn, a multi-filament yarn with a little twist. Okay, and they are given plied. Okay, then before playing itself, they apply the resins, then they are twisted, and you make a thread. And they assume a flat and ribbon-like configuration. What happened now? Because the twist is very low, and imagine the filament yarn is like a number of soft cylinders. So when you are applying resins, the yarn is under tension. So filament try to spread out because of the low twist. So they assume like similar to like ribbon-like. With that configuration, you already applied resins, and it is skewed. So they have a flat ribbon-like appearance. And what happened because of that one? And they try to have more area contact with respect to the needle, as well as with respect to the fabric yarns. So when the fabric is stitched, what happens? You find this monocard thread, which is in a ribbon-like structure inside the fabrics. That means the contact between the fabric yarn, warp yarn, webbed yarn, and the monocard thread is very high because they have ribbon-like structure. So they give excellent seam durability. That is the plus point of this monocard thread. And they are very strong for their size. Okay, even higher than the twisted multi-filament thread. Okay, and they are used for heavy-duty industrial applications, such as sewing the furniture, leather, sporting goods, luggage, shoes, very sturdy materials, heavy materials. So that you need very strong strength for the stitched product, furniture, leather, all these things. So when you have to use the thread, which is one of the strongest. So they use always the monocard thread. So the monocard threads are always, mostly you find the basic material is nylon, because nylon is predominantly used for bonded, because you can easily but the bond is between the resins and nylon is much better, because of the availability of resins in the market, and most resins has bond well with nylon. So that's why most of the monocard threads are made from nylon materials. And if you want to use in the industrial fabrics under the sun, and you know that under the sun you have a lot of UV lights, and UV when the fabric or thread absorbs the UV lights, it loses its strength. So in order to give better UV protection while bonding with the resin, they just put UV inhibitors. There are some chemicals, so they add with the resins, and with this, the thread is made so that the resistance against UV light is increased. And all these threads are mostly hot stretched, means they are stretched under temperature, and to give them high modulus and low breaking extension. So whenever you stretch the thread, it is easy to stretch under hot condition. Number two, when you are stretching, more stresses are introduced and it has to be relaxed. Otherwise, what happens? It may snell. So it is always done under hot stretching. Okay, and basically to improve the modulus of the thread as well as the breaking extension. The other category of thread is the air jet textured threads. So here the basic material is mostly filaments, and predominantly it is a polyester filaments. In some cases they use the polypropylene for some automobile other applications. But nowadays they are using mostly polyester because it's more stronger than polypropylene and more durable and more compressible resilience. So mostly you find the air jet texture threads are made from continuous polyester filaments, and they are entangled using a supersonic air jet. So when the yarn, the filament yarn is passing through the jet, and when it comes out of the supersonic air jet, where the velocity of the air is above 1 Mach. I think we have worked, it is around 1.2, 1.5 Mach. 1 Mach means 300 meter per second speed, sound speed, okay, it is more than. So what happened when it comes out of the air jet? The air jet has the characteristics of non-uniformity, turbulent, and supersonic. So when the filament passes through this air stream, they move laterally, and they try to form loops on the surface of the yarn, and that gives a slippery feel and better seam security. So when they use this thread for stitching, the friction between the air jet textured threads and the fabric yarn is much better because the thread has many surface loops. So that gives better seam security than the continuous filament thread. Continuous filament thread is basically highly slippery, and among the stitches, if you cut one stitch, you can easily unravel the other stitches because the friction is very less. And we don't use the high tenacity filaments because when you use the high tenacity filaments, they are very stiff, and the supersonic jet will be having difficulty in entangling the filaments. So normally we use medium tenacity. High tenacity is not suitable for this process. And always they are plied and dyed. Okay. So generally we do. I already told it's not suitable for the heavy duty applications, but except some application like furniture and jeans, where the main thread is used are having a high strength, but some part of the stitches we can use these air jet texturing threads. So this is the process of air jet texturing. This is my last slide. Okay, we'll be going for the quiz. This is a multi-filament yarn coming from the creel, and this is a guarded roller, and this is a hot pin. Suppose the filament yarn is a PO yarn, partially oriented yarn, then it is drawn above the glass transition temperature. Then it is wetted by a bath or maybe a water jet. Then it goes to supersonic jet. Then you get the surface loops. Then it's a stretching zone, that's heat setting zone. Then finally you apply the lubricant. Then yarn is wound. So you can see filament yarn is coming parallelly, all filaments. Then they get entangled and they form loops. This is the yarn which is very good appearance, and this is the average appearance. This is unsatisfactory. The loops are not uniform. You have small loop, then there is no loop, then big loops, it's not desirable. So here you see more or less uniform loops, and this regular pattern. Okay, this all today. You can go to the all the best.